What's up guys, my name's Tom, also known as the Book Geordie on Instagram, Twitter and Goodreads. Today I'm going to be doing a review of The Whisper Man by Alex North, and I'm also going to be doing a book haul from World of Books. So, I came across this book because I love researching like horror books, thriller books, edge of seat books, suspenseful books, and this kept coming up again and again and again. So I thought I'm going to definitely pick it up and read it. There's a lot of authors on the back that are saying it's a lot like Silence of the Lambs meets Stephen King sort of era, and after reading it, it definitely is. I'll read you the back. Still devastated after the loss of his wife, Tom Kennedy and his young son Jake moved to the sleepy village of Featherbank looking for a fresh start. But Featherbank has a dark past. 15 years ago, a twisted serial killer abducted and murdered 5 boys until he was finally caught. The killer was known as the Whisper Man. Of course, an old crime need not trouble Tom and Jake as they try to settle into their new home, except that another boy has gone missing and Jake begins acting strangely. He says he hears a whispering at his window. So I'm telling you now, right, this got 5 out of 5 for me for this book. Honestly, I read it within 2 days and it's 390 pages long. I class myself as a fast reader, but honestly, I whizzed through the pages. So as I said, the main character is called Tom and he has a son called Jake who's about 6 or 7 years old. The story starts with them living in a house and they move away after Tom's wife and Jake's mum die and they go to live in a town called Featherbank. However, Featherbank has got a really dark past. 5 boys were abducted in mysterious circumstances and were brutally murdered. And there is a lot to do about the serial killer element in this. It's very like Silence of the Lambs take on it, but it's really original and really creative the way the author's done it. When I'm reading it, I'm thinking that there is like a horror paranormal element to it. So if you don't really like horror paranormal, don't go with it. But after reading it, that's not the case. The author's really clever in making you feel like that's what's going to happen almost. The book's told by different point of views. So we have Jake, the little boy, we have Tom Kennedy, who's the main character, we have the DCI, who's also called Pete, and we have the killer. Okay, so there's lots of different point of views, and as you go through the book, you understand different perspectives from each character, and it goes backwards and forwards, and it honestly is really such a good book for that. I've heard some people say that the point of view from Jake as a 7-year-old boy isn't what a 7-year-old boy would think. I do agree in some way, but at the end of the day, it is a book. It needs to keep you engrossed and it needs to keep you entertained. So I disagree with that in one respect because I feel like the author's done that to really keep you engrossed in the story and make you really feel like we're in Jake's shoes as an adult reader reading the book from his perspective. If you did it too much like a 7-year-old, it would verge on the edge of a children's book, the way he's thinking, the way he's talking. There's some proper creepy characters in it. Like, I was reading this and I was thinking, I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep at night with how creepy some of the characters were. Like, I love horror and that, but this like was really creepy. There's some scenes in the book that like are so sinister and creepy. I was a bit like, ugh, freaked out myself. In terms of setting, there's a lot of creepy settings in it. The house that Tom and Jake move into is a creepy house. There's a creepy garage. There's a man looking around the garage whose description is really, really creepy. I almost think of like Hannibal Lecter when he's describing them. In terms of plot twists, there is a plot twist, but it's not the one you'd expect from a normal thriller. I didn't see it coming, to be honest, and I'm normally quite good with plot twists. So I was really quite surprised and happy that the plot twist was unexpected and was there, which I thought was really, really good as well from the author. Alex North has done a really, really clever book here, and it's definitely a book that will stay with me for a long time. One of my top books that I've read so far. It is like a police crime drama, but it's not a police crime drama, if that makes any sense. It's very thrillery, almost on the verge of horror, but it's not. It's really complicated, sort of the genre which it's in, but you've got to pick this up and have a read. It's really, really, really good. I would definitely recommend it. 5 out of 5 for me on this one. As I said at the start of the video, I'll be doing a review of The Whisper Man by Alex North, which I've just done, and I was also doing a book haul from my recent purchases from World of Books. Like I said, I'm really interested in looking at BuzzFeed's top disturbing books, suspenseful books, horror books, thrill books, things that just push the envelope a little bit. And these are the 3 books that I've bought off World of Books. So the first one that I bought off World of Books is Ian Banks's The Wasp Factory. I don't know too much about this book, just that it's quite disturbing. People have not finished it because how disturbing it is. They've put it down. On the back, 2 years after I killed Blythe, I murdered my young brother Paul for quite different reasons than I disposed of Blythe. And then a year after that, I did for my young cousin Esmeralda, more or less on a whim. So immediately from the first few lines of the blurb, I'm drawn in as a murder, sort of disturbing crime, gory book. This was published in 1984, so it is an older book, so I'm expecting the sort of descriptions and things inside the book are going to be a bit outdated. Nevertheless, I'm really looking forward to this one. So if you've read this, let me know in the comments below. The second book is Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk, I think that's how you say it. Author of Fight Club. Now, I've never read Fight Club, and embarrassingly to say, I've never actually seen the film Fight Club either, but I've heard a lot of weird things about this, and I'm quite intrigued to get myself engrossed in it a little bit. It's a series of short stories, but each story is quite disturbing in its own right. I've heard a lot of people have been sick reading them. A lot of people have put it down and never picked it back up. I mean, the front cover is a bit disturbing as it is. Parental advisory, read it at your own risk. Haunted is a novel made up of stories, stomach churning like you'll ever encounter. Deeply brutal and provocative. An immensely skillful writer. So I'm looking forward to that one as well. If you've read this, let me know as well in the comments below. And finally, Out by Natsuo Carino. This is another one that's been on my TBR for a while that I found on a BuzzFeed sort of list of disturbing books that's out there. The cover's creepy in itself as well. The eye, the knife, the blood sort of coming down the knife on there. A young mother among them finally cracks and strangles her gambling husband and confesses her crime to her colleagues. The colleagues work together to try and cover it up. Then the mafia get involved. I've read some pretty gruesome things about it as well. I'm thinking it's going to be a really good read. So yeah, again, if you've read any of these, let me know in the comments below. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video of my review of The Whisper Man by Alex North and my 3 books from the book haul of World of Books. Please like, comment, subscribe, and give me a thumbs up if you like my video and want more. Also, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Goodreads, and let's get talking about the books I love. Cheers, guys.